So I actually started my very first undergraduate research project. I worked with the National Fish and Wildlife Forensics Lab in Ashland, Oregon. I went to Southern Oregon University, and they happen to have in Ashland, Oregon, in this sleepy little mountain town, they have one of the only forensics laboratories in the country that is devoted specifically to wildlife crimes. And you might not realize how much of a problem wildlife crimes are, but they actually deal with trafficking of illegal animal products, ivory, hides, crocodile purses, things like that. I initially got involved within that was that there was this person who was accused of having shot bald eagles, and they had collected blood from the back of his pickup truck, and he claimed that it was deer blood, that it was not bald eagle blood, and it was just these little dried blood spots on some sticks and leaves. And there wasn't really a very good established technique. There wasn't really any established technique that would enable us to take those dried blood spots and figure out for sure that they came from bald eagle. And also the quality of the material was not very good because it was a tiny amount and it was dried blood. And so it was sort of sitting in a bag in the lab. And my advisor there, Dr. Ed Espinoza, had this concept that we could look at hemoglobin in animal blood, and that different animals would have different types of hemoglobin, and so we would then be able to figure out where the blood came from. And actually that did turn out to be the case, and so my project was basically involved analyzing sample after sample of blood from all different species of animals and trying to use a mass spectrometric technique that actually became the focus of my graduate research later to weigh the molecules and figure out how they were different in different species. And we figured out that actually bald eagles had very characteristic hemoglobin molecules. At the very end of my undergraduate work, my boss actually allowed me to take the sample of evidence and dissolve it up and test it on the mass spectrometer, and sure enough, it was bald eagle blood. And so that was like this very big aha moment for me. I was like, oh wow, this is research. We just solved a crime. So he did end up taking this case to court using the procedures that we had developed. And I say we very loosely, it was not really my idea, but I was involved, and ended up prosecuting this person for having illegally killed bald eagles. And so that was my first experience with undergraduate research, and I was hooked.